Welcome guys, so this will be my 8th all will be one quick draft. I'll just get us started. It's been swings and roundabouts. I've gone 7-0 and then 0-3 my last two drafts. Although as soon as I get into platinum I struggle, to be honest with you. I don't do that well. So it's not entirely unexpected. What we have here is Venser, Corpse Puppet. I did draft this in a previous draft, but decided I couldn't play. Right, I'm not sure I've even drafted blue-black before. This might be a good reason to do that. So it's got a proliferate payoff specifically, where you make a 3/3 golem, and you can give it flying and lifelink sometimes, which is cool. So yeah, that's fun. We'll give that a try. Of course, I'm just I've recently noticed you can hold down Alt to see how many copies you own of different things. So I think Venser is good enough. We'll definitely go blue-black. I mean, unless there's something else amazing, but I don't think these uncommons are amazing enough to deviate. Right. So we do have a good 2-drop here actually, Icosynthesize. So I think this is good. Non-creature spells put oil counters on this, and then it can become unblockable. Got a Threat Centurion, not that amazing. Gulping Scraptrap has Proliferate on entering the battlefield and on dying. Usually you'd rather take this later in the draft, but we're going all in on Proliferate, I think. So I'm going to take this one now. Vat of Rebirth. Of course, you can get an oil counter on that, and then Proliferate can get you the rest of the way. It's potentially very good value. There is another Icosynthesizer there. Fleshless Gladiator. I fancy trying out Vat of Rebirth and trying to make this work. Okay, Serum-Core Chimera is a very good uncommon. We might sort of think, can we splash red for this? But we'll look at other things. Experimental Augury is good because it proliferates, similar for Blightbelly Rat. So a couple of sort of okay cards for the deck. But I am tempted to just see if we can splash Serum-Core Chimera. I think that sounds like a jape. Right, we've got Vivid Surgeon's Insight here and not much else. I think we just have to take that. Right, really not seeing our colours here at all. I'll take a Phyrexian Atlas. Glistener Seer could be quite good. Molten Rebuke, if we're splashing red, we might use that. I think I like the Seer better. So cheap 2-drop there. Bit of mana fixing there. I'll take the mana fixing thing. Okay, the Raptor synergizes with Proliferate, so we'll take that. really not much black. Haven't seen any black for about 4 packs, feels like. I will take the Churning Reservoir. Another Churning Reservoir or Dross Pits. I think it's a rare opportunity to get 2 Churning Reservoirs. Furnace Strider is splashable. Take a Forge Hammer Centurion. And a Molten Rebuke. That's nice. Okay, so suddenly we're... seems like we're a red deck. Okay, we have Green Sun's Twilight. Seems good. I'm going to take that. Thrummingbird. This is kind of the perfect thing for this deck. Yeah, I think it's Thrummingbird. Green Sun's Twilight is nice, but in that, I don't think we can splash for that. Ooh, Watchful Blisterzoa. 2 blue and 4. Okay. That seems quite good. Vat Emergence as well. I'll go for this big jellyfish thing. So I don't think we're going for a whole heap of poison. I don't know if Fleshless Gladiator is going to be any good. Dross Skull Bomb, another way of getting doing a Raised Dead. That could be good. Yeah, let's try that. Another. Okay, that's a rare. Well, we will red draft this. Pop it in the old sideboard there. Tainted Observer's pretty good. It's another proliferate thingy. Do we really want to go 4 colours is the question. So this thing proliferates, Experimental Augury proliferates as well. I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I think the Observer's a bit too good. I'm gonna have to pick it and see if I can play it. Good news is, we're in safe house, we are good. We have 4 copies of that. Okay, that's an actual black creature. We've got Ichorplate Golem here if we're more leaning into oil. I think, let's see, how many oil things have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got a decent number of oil things. We've got 2 churning reservoirs as well. But still, I'm not sure I want to play red. But it's just looking like there's not much black available. Well, maybe, yeah, maybe we go for the golem. Prologue to Phyresis is more of the poison strategy. That starts to work when you have a serious amount of poison. Experimental augury proliferates, which is what we're trying to do, I think. Another Vat of Rebirth. We kind of need some action. We need some removal cards, I think. We're very low on removal. I think, I don't know. I'll take the Prologue to Phyresis if we can pivot into poison in the last pack a bit more. Transplant Theorist, what's this? Okay, it's Artifact payoff. That's another deck. Okay. Web Curator. I think maybe I like this one. Let's have a look at our slightly dodgy mana curve. So actually, yeah, blue-red is a bit more prominent at the moment. Another experimental augury. Seems like 3 is too many. I think we can try this counterspell. It might go well. Surgical Skull Bomb. Soulblade Scamp. Yeah, it could be for the oil deck. Yeah, we're sort of halfway between a couple of decks here. Not looking too good. If we just say, like, let's completely forget red. See what it looks like. We go down to 16 cards. And we're still trying to splash a Tainted Observer. And possibly green. If we're going to do that, Green Sun's Twilight would make sense. And we're doing Proliferate Things. Yeah. I think it's the, we take the Skull Bomb here. Escape this experiment. I mean, it's a filler 2-drop, I guess, that we need to take. Don't think we can play a Rustvine Cultivator. Pop it in the sideboard. Okay, that sort of is playable. Okay, we have a Skrelv's Hive now. That's nice. Can't really splash for that. Pop it there. Archfiend of the Dross, you say? Well, that's a nice turn up for the books. very, very good second pick. Right. I see a Pestilent Siphoner. I think that's going to be the best one here. Oh, the Soulless Jailer. Do we have... No, we can pick up our fourth copy of that. It's very tempting. I ought to be picking a Dune Mover here, probably, or another Scraptrap. I'm gonna go ahead and take the rare. Now, Ravenous Necrotitan, nice big creature. If we can get to 3 poison, you don't have to sacrifice something. Good question is there something we can just sacrifice and not care about? Do we have fodder creatures? Maybe not so much. We could play another Prologue to Phyresis. Sheoldred's Head Cleaver's good as well. That would be the other 4-drop. We could, well, we do make a golem, which is potentially something we can sacrifice. So yeah, this is a tricky one, because I feel like I ought to pick the Head Cleaver because it contributes to the poison strategy, and this is a poison payoff. This is a corrupted payoff. Okay, let's take the 6/6. I like big creatures. We've got an Archfiend of the Dross as well. So potentially we're dropping the 2 green cards, I would say here, and Prophetic Prism, maybe Ichorplate Golem. Yeah, so there's still potentially quite a few cards we might want to get into the deck. I think maybe 1 Vat of Rebirth is correct. I think 2 is a bit risky. Ichor Synthesizer. So this would be another Proliferate outlet. The Anatomist. Maybe that's what we have to pick here. Even if we're a bit short on 2 drops. I think actually it's a 2-drop. We want a 7th 2-drop. Okay, Tamiyo's Logbook. Bring the Ending. Might be good. Vraska's Fall. Vraska's Fall. It's another way of giving someone a poison. I think we could do that. There's the Mirror in Safe House again. Bring the Ending. Yeah, let's try bring the Ending here. Whisper of the Dross. I think I go Dune Mover here. Another Ravenous Necrotitan. Yeah, let's do it. Excuse me. Right. Yep, I was just looking at this. This is a mill card. Kind of interesting. But yeah, yeah, I'll pick that for the collection. Okay, there is Feed the Infection. It's a bit expensive, and you lose 3 life. I like a Dune Mover again, I think. Yeah. Have that. Sure. Well, we sort of made a blue-black deck. had a red scare early on, but yeah, I don't think we need to do that. Right, I think I'll call that end of part 1 and have a little think. Thanks for watching so far. Okay, after that little think, I thought I'll go for, and we'll try the Tainted Observer and the Serum-Core Chimera. So I've added a mountain and a forest. Now, can I get away with this? Well, I've put in Phyrexian Atlas, Prophetic Prism. I have the 2 Dune movers. So I have 5 ways of getting to red or green mana, which, for splashing 1 card of each colour, I think maybe we can get away with that. And these are interesting cards, which I feel like they might be good. We've had to make some cuts, so I've cut Meldweb Curator, the Gitaxian Anatomist, and Vivisurgeon's Insight, which is so that was the toughest one, because that's sort of, you draw 3 cards and you proliferate. It seems quite good for the deck, but I suppose it's 5 mana and it's not affecting the board state, so that's why it gets cut. I thought I'll keep my big creatures. The Watchful Blisterzoa, that can be my sort of late game card draw thing, basically. If that dies, I can draw some cards, unless it gets exiled, of course. What else? Oh yeah, I dropped my artifacts. I dropped the Surgical Skull Bomb and the Dross Skull Bomb, just because we don't really have much artifact synergy. I mean, I'm sure these are fine cards, but I thought we could go for more synergy, basically. Yeah. Anyway, I thought, yeah, this is a slightly more interesting deck. Let's try this out. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I'll go 0-3 again. I've not really got Serum-Core Chimera to work yet. Well, that's 3 of our colours. We have a 2-drop. We have double blue for our counterspell. So I think that's a good opening hand. We can draw a card and give them a poison counter as well. So we'll play the black mana here, and I think we get on the board quickly. So we're on the play. Oh, and he's got a 3-1. So we could counter his next thing. We might, yeah, we probably want to just trade off with this thing. And actually we can, that's an instant speed thing, so if there's nothing to counter, we can give him a poison counter. Oh, nice, yeah. Counter that. Okay, yeah, he doesn't want to trade off. I think that's understandable. Ichorplate Golem is pretty good here. That gets up to 2-4. Do I want to start attacking? That's another question. So he might have another removal. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go aggressive. I've got another creature next turn to follow up. Okay, he's got a nice blocker there. So yeah, I just trade off. I'm quite happy to do that, because that is a dangerous 2-drop, that thing. We didn't hit him with any poison yet, unfortunately. Ravenous Necrotitan isn't quite going to do it. Needs 4 oil counters, so well, Scraptrap gets one of them. could have done, obviously, Prologue to Phyresis and done the Scraptrap next turn to get the poison counter, but I don't think it's worth it for delaying my big creature. Okay, that's a 2/3 blocker. Okay, Glistener Seer, that, you know, could potentially get sacrificed. Yeah, that just does a poison counter, doesn't it? So we could Necrotitan now. I think I want to attack with Scraptrap. Let's just double check everything's working. Yeah, let's do that. Because he might want to trade off. Okay, he doesn't trade off. And then I've got a choice. Necrotitan or Glistener Seer. No, I think I'll do the Prologue to Phyresis now, because we could draw a 2-drop. And yeah, that would have... I forgot about his spell, so he could have been unblockable. Never mind, that's fine. Could have gone through for 7 damage, basically. Yeah, got to remember this triggers off non-creature spells as well. Ossification on that guy. Okay. Shame, can't sacrifice it. It's annoying. And then he can send that guy over. So he's got 2 artifacts now. So that's a 4/4. And that can get lifelink and just hit for loads of damage. Okay, fair enough. No blocks. Okay, I think so. Glistener Seer. We can't cast the Chimera. It's a good top deck, I think. And yeah, I think it's Necrotitan. Sacrifice that. Scraptrap. I think, yeah, might as well attack. Okay, nice big creature. Guess the Necrotitan could trade off with that. I'll get flying, of course. So no attacks. Bounce something back. Oh, Skitterfang, maybe, to bring back the... no, it's going to bounce the land. Okay. Would have done that after combat, after he's used the last token, I guess. This could get through for 6. And then he's just got a preponderance of creatures here, so he might just be able to push through the last 6 damage. So what's that got? Lifelink? Yeah, okay. I'll trade off with that. Could actually block with these 2 guys. Which would mean just losing one of them. But I'd potentially lose the creature that gives me lots of proliferates. Yeah. The only flyer he's got is the Incisor Glider. I think this is the better trade if I trade with these 2. Oh, wait. Can't be blocked by creatures with flying. Right, I got there in the end. I figured it out. Never mind. That has literally never come up before. Okay, swamp. Not much to do. So, trouble is, yeah, I trade off with this, and then I'm pretty defenseless. Ah, nice. So, he gets an extra point of toughness, of course. Okay, if you're attacking with that guy, okay, and you've got one card in hand, what does that mean? It could mean something very bad. There's a +2/+2 combat trick, which costs 2 mana. So my guess is he's got that. And so I'll have to double block like this. And if he doesn't have it, he just kills my Observer, and then I can't trade with the Orthodoxy Enforcer. But I'm going to just assume the worst, because if I double block this and he's got the combat trick, I just lose. I don't get to trade anything off. So, yeah, we're going to assume the worst. And he doesn't have to use his combat trick. He's got Tyvar's Stand. Fair enough. It was a different combat trick that gives him invulnerable. Fair enough. We'll play this flyer now. No attacks. So I wonder where the game has gone wrong for me here and why he's got so many creatures. He's top decked a nice removal spell there. Because I don't have that many more lands than him. 7, 8. He was able to sacrifice a land, of course, to draw a card. So that makes a difference. I went first. He drew an extra card. I didn't make the most of going first, and I had to sacrifice a creature to get my Necrotitan out. I sacrificed the Seer. So those extra scries could have been quite useful. Let's see, I've got to stop 8 damage getting through, and I think it's impossible to do that. Even if I block this guy, it's 7. Okay, I'll just say good game. And we had one slip up. I could have got through for 3 more damage with my, if I played my Prologue to Phyresis before combat, my Ichor Synthesizer could have got through. So that was a little slip up. I think, yeah, it's just, that was just him drawing a couple of extra cards. He had a good 2-drop as well. He had a good amount of removal cards as well. And even he could have bounced his Atrax's Skitterfang and replayed it to reload it with oil tokens. So he definitely could have done a better play, I think. So yeah, I think 0-3 is my score when I get to Platinum a lot of the time. I think this is going to be no different. Because that was going first and I couldn't even make much of an impact. I think there's a question mark over the Prologue to Phyresis card. Draw a card and give your opponent a poison counter. That might not be a very good card. Might be a bit of a dirtly card. Right, now this time we've got 2 lands. We've got a counterspell, Pestilent Siphoner. We're on the draw this time. So I think we've got to keep this. Right, Psychoplast Siphoner, or I could try and counter potential, well, a 3-drop. I think I want to play the 1-drop. Yeah, they mean the 1/1. 3/2. Okay. It's not going to. Okay, I think I swing in and get in some poison here. Obviously, I've had an incredibly slow start compared to him. Well, he got 1-drop, 1-drop, then 3-drop, which is a pretty good start. Not quite a perfect start. I'm going to go 2-drop and into another 2-drop, and we're going to try and find the forest. Or no, we're going to get a second island. Yeah, that makes sense. So the June Mover doing its job. This is why it's in the deck. It's to fix these dodgy opening hands. My fear is there's some kind of mill card. They can just take my land off the top. Oh, Hazardous Blast. Nice. So, yep, perfect moment for a Hazardous Blast. Take out both my creatures, and I'm completely dead. Really, there's very little I can do here. I've got the counter spells, but it's too late. I was on the draw, and when you're on the draw, counter spells are practically useless. It feels like a lot of the time. You have a choice between getting on the board or holding up counterspell mana. I thought a 2-power creature would be good to trade with his Centurion, but I was obviously wrong. Right, we'll end the turn there. Chimney Rabble, we can counterspell. So, actually, this will counter anything. This, oh wait. We nearly made a mistake here. He can untap a land. Yeah, we've got to use Reject Imperfection for that. And we're still just about in the game. I'm going to take another 5 damage. I mean, I've been trying to play Hazardous Blast just for that kind of situation. I thought, yeah, I'll completely wreck every so often. I'll just completely wreck someone's plans. I'll just do a Hazardous Blast, and they'll be completely destroyed. And it's just not quite happened yet. But I think that's the first time I've been on the receiving end and just been destroyed. Let's see what we can do, though. We've got Bring the Ending and Vraska's Fall. So I could probably stop 1 damage next turn. If he taps out, hopefully for a big creature, we can counter it. But otherwise, we can't. We won't be able to stop it. We can't stop that, unfortunately. But that's Vraska's Fall now. Yeah, that gets a token, of course. That can make a Hill Giant straight away. There's 4 mana to do that. And of course, yeah, I've gone 4 colours. I made a decision to get the second island for my counterspell, and I've just drawn my 2 double black creatures. So it's looking like a bad decision to go 4 colours at this point when I've got double blue and double black in the deck. It's not helping the deck's consistency, really, is it? Yeah, I think that's a good game then. We went interesting rather than consistent, I think, this time. So yeah, that was on the draw and against a fast start when I drew both my counter spells. That's an example of why you probably don't want to play counter spells in draft. Counter spells go well in decks that have got board sweepers, I think. I'm not sure they're good as a sort of random spell you chuck in. Occasionally they're wonderful, but so often they're just a completely dead card that does nothing to affect the board. I'm sort of tempted to change the deck now. I keep saying, you know, this is a 0-3. It's sort of coming true. On that evidence, do I just drop my counter spells? I've just sort of talked myself out of them, out of their effectiveness. Of course, the play was turn 3. Don't play a creature, even though I'm under huge pressure. Hold up counterspell magic. But would he use? Obviously, he's going to only use that to get a 2-for-1, the 1 damage sweeper. So maybe on the evidence of that game, that's where we say, right, yeah, we've got loads of double black and double blue things. We can't really afford to splash red and green. And maybe we drop red, drop green, we drop the Atlas. We certainly drop the Prism. I think we drop the Atlas. I think Ichorplate Golem is, if we just count, we've got 1, 2, 3. 4 creatures that are relevant. It doesn't feel great to have the Ichorplate Golem, but then we've got 4 slots to add, so we can play Phyrexian Insight, Meld Web Curator, Gitaxian Anatomist, and then maybe one of these spells. Dropping a mountain and a forest, get island and swamp. Is a Phyrexian? Do we want a Phyrexian Atlas to try and ramp out our more expensive spells? That's a good question. Actually, yeah, we've got quite a few 4-drops. It can get us that 4th point of mana if we're out of lands. The other option would be, yeah, one of these artifacts, Surgical Skull Bomb. It could draw us into that extra land, of course. Maybe it's a bit more proactive. Going for the Skull Bomb. Because we're a bit short on removal here. We don't even have the blue removal spell that taps things down. I think I'll go for the Atlas. I think I want a bit of ramp. We've got I've got a couple of double blue, 3 double blue spells, 3 double black spells. The double black spells are a bit cheaper though, because I'm thinking maybe we want to go 9 swamps rather than. So we can slam that turn 4 Archfiend of the Dross. That's how we're going to probably win. If opponent can't answer it, that probably wins. Yeah, okay, well, so this is basically back to the original version of the deck. tried splashing colours, but I don't think it was doing us much good. Let's go. Probably a 0-3 again. I'm sure it's not the first time I got to Platinum and I had a couple of 0-3 drafts. Okay, we're on the draw again. We had our chance. Game 1 was where we were on the play, and we couldn't make it happen. So, alright, let's keep this one. Dune Mover can find a swamp number 2, I guess. They've got a fast start. Okay, well there's swamp number 2 anyway. Is it going to be a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop start? Are we going to... Oh, Thriller possibility. That is very interesting. That suggests to me he wants to find a land drop. Okay, I've basically can cast everything in the deck, so I don't need a land from the Dune Mover. I do want to get on the board. I've drawn both of the counter spells and I'm on the draw, so it's I'm in that tricky area. Okay, he's used removal. He's stuck on 2 land. Okay. I think we get on the board. I think we play Ichorplate Golem, get a blocker, and then we try and play our counter spells because we've got nothing else left. Okay, tap land. He's top deck to tap land. And is this going to get blown up? Shrapnel Slinger, sacrifice and blow up an artifact, right? Okay. At least it's a 1-for-1. Would have been a nice thing to counter, but that's the way it goes. So yeah, we drew 7 land this game in 11 cards. So 7 land and only 4 cards. Furnace Punisher. That looks like a perfect opportunity for Bring the Ending. We drew something that was not a land. That is good. And we can play it and still have counterspell mana, which is absolutely fantastic. It'd be even better if we could give my opponent a poison counter. Yeah, I mean, that's not something I can deal with, so counterspell it. Beautiful. I was just saying I want to give my opponent a poison counter, and there it is. Beautiful. Play a Vat of Rebirth as well. Get him to 2 poison. Chimney Rabble. Yeah. The inevitable Chimney Rabble, the inevitable 8th land. Do I want to trade off with the Goblin? I get a token on Vat of Rebirth if I do that. On the other hand, I could get him to Corrupted, I don't think my deck has actually a lot of corrupted payoffs. It's just, I mean, we've already had to bring the ending. I think it's another classic 0-3 performance here by in Platinum. Right, if I lose the Thrummingbird, this gets a token. But we need 4 oil tokens for this to matter. He's going to do me 6 damage next turn. I think I'll just swing in, get him to 3 poison. And then use this as a chump blocker against the Chimney Rabble, but then I need another answer, because I'm going to be on 3, and he's going to do 3 damage, so it's not ideal at the moment. So, yeah, this is the, I guess the problem is your opponent's mana screwed. He's got a hand full of cards. And we've drawn, of course, I had that long debate over whether I should play Phyrexian Atlas, and now it's come at precisely the worst possible time. Still, it can make him lose a life point, get him down to 17. And he has a control magic spell to do me an extra point of damage. Nice. Well, my only response to that, I'm going to tap for some black mana. Do a point of damage. Great. Love it. Love Magic the Gathering. Wonderful game. Not frustrating at all in the least. Right. Let's have a look at the deck. I can't complain. 2 drafts ago I went 7-0, so this is the payback. I've gone 0-3 and 0-3 again. And they know, I think. Right, so I've sort of had second thoughts about counterspells in Best of 1 in Limited. I see my opponents play them all the time, and they seem to work perfectly. What you're not seeing, of course, are all the counterspells that are left stuck in people's hands when they're completely irrelevant, and they're dead. They're just dead cards because your opponent had a fast start. Yeah, I think this is why I usually don't play counterspells, because they're just I just seem to be on the draw a lot of the time, and they don't really help that much. How many creatures did we have? We had 16 creatures, so it's recommended to have 17 creatures in your limited deck. So we are there or thereabouts. We were maybe a bit low on removal because we're running a ramp card, we're running the Atlas, so that of course it cuts into that important, you know, either have creatures or removal kind of thing. Also, we have a card draw spell as well, which maybe you can get away with these kinds of cards if you've got creatures that just kill your opponent's creatures directly, like the that black-white card, Vivisection Specialist. Rascal's Fool's not the best removal card. It seemed like I faced a lot of... Well, I faced 1 drops in the second 2 games. a lot of sacrifice fodder was out there. That was like my, yeah, other than the counter spells, this is my only removal spell, Vraska's Fall. So that's definitely, I was feeling that was where the deck was falling down. We had maybe we had too many ambitious cards. Like Vat of Rebirth is just an ambitious card. This doesn't do anything for ages, basically, until it does something great. And we got to see it do nothing, basically. And Prologue to Phyresis. Yeah, again, not a creature, not a removal card. It is a cantrip. It does replace itself. But in a kind of tight, tempo-y game, can you really afford to spend 2 mana on this? I mean, if you've got a very tight poison-focused game, then maybe. So I think, yeah, I think maybe that we have to just tighten up a few things to make this kind of thing work. And maybe it's, well, maybe we were a bit unlucky in the game 3 to draw, I think it was 7 lands in the first 11 cards. So that my opponent had the opposite problem of getting mana screwed and missing. I think he missed a couple of land drops, or maybe just one. But then he had a handful of cards that just overwhelmed me. So yeah, to be honest, it looks like a fine deck. It's just in the playing of it, wasn't very consistent, I guess. Got a few bad breaks. Realised counter spells are often useless. Yeah, that's Magic for you. Yeah, first 2 games we were trying to splash 2 colours, weren't we? So game 2, we had Archfiend of the Dross, and we only had 1 swamp in play. And yeah, maybe because we cut 1 swamp from the deck, maybe because we used our Dune Movers to find forest or mountain at some point. It could have been the extra swamp. So yeah, the first 2 games we were trying to go 4 colours. We're going ambitious and trying to do something with the Tainted Observer and Serum-Core Chimera, which is, yeah, a bit ambitious, I guess. Yeah, I think overall, just even this tuned version, just 2-color version, is too ambitious. Well, Vat of Rebirth, it's got too many of these sort of luxury cards, I guess. And we just didn't find any really good removal cards, I think. Yeah, well, we didn't use the Surgical Skull Bomb. I mean, it doesn't inspire me really, this card. But yeah, maybe it was necessary. Anyway, yeah, did not work out. But there you go. I did have a good run of getting 2 packs every time I went at 0-3, but I think yeah, that's just a bit of good luck. Anyway, I don't think I've got time this week to play any more drafts. So obviously I've got quite a lot of gold, but so Phyrexian will be 1. It's going to be back in 2 weeks' time. So I'll use the gold then to try and get back to platinum for the April season and get a few more cards. And maybe it will be a little bit easier because I won't be in platinum anymore. But I don't know. So, occasionally I think I've done okay in platinum, but yeah, it's often been banging my head against a brick wall. Anyway, I think that is the video. So thanks for watching.